welcome to Access Sportsnet Lakers. I'm Allie Clifton, joined by our Laker insider, Mike Bresnahan, and from ESPN LA 710, his name is Beto Duran. Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm great. Better now that you're here.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad.
Beto, now that you're here?
Yes, hey, we're all here. Brez, I missed you too, Brez.
How are the callers, Beto? How are they these days? A little more calm after game 2 than after game 1?
Let's just say game 1, the world is over.
Yeah.
Game 2, this is what we're supposed to do. We're right there. Championship, light up the parade. It is, the emotions are just all over the place, and I love it. It's playoff time.
It's a roller coaster.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
Our good friend Geeter is kind of like that.
Yes, and Geeter, when he's walking around crypto before the game, like he was at game 2, you talk about a man who was so nervous, and he sees big game and just namaste.
Yeah,
namaste. Once big game shows up. But Geeter's a ball of energy and a ball of nerves at the same time.
It's like when you show up here, we all namaste.
Yeah, we should.
We're calm, we're zen.
Big game's the Geeter
The exact
whisperer.
opposite.
Yeah.
It's good to see the both of you. The Lakers did what they needed to do in game 2 against the Wolves, as our callers say. They evened up the series at 1. The Lakers held the Wolves to a season low 85 points. It was certainly a must-win situation as you look at the Western Conference bracket. The one thing to obviously keep an eye on, the Rockets and Warriors, they're also evened up at 1 apiece. The winner of the Lakers T-Wolves faces off against the winner in the next round of the Rockets Warriors. It was essentially a must-win. The Lakers treated it like one. Take a listen.
We were very physical tonight, as were they.
What do you think, adjustment-wise, what was something that you felt like worked for you guys as you held them to the low 80s in points?
Again, we were physical. I think, playoffs require a different level. And like I said pregame, it took us about 2.5 quarters in game 1 to get to that level of physicality. I think it's fair to say we won the game with our defense tonight, but our offense had a lot to do with that. Not allowing them to get out in transition, and when they did, as AR did late in the game, taking the charge, we were able to stop them from scoring, or in some cases stop them from even getting a quick shot up, and then they had to run half-court offense. So I just think as much as it was the defense tonight, our offense actually helped quite a bit with some of the transition stuff.
I mean, that's what it's going to take. They play hard as hell. We got to play hard as hell. They play with a lot of intensity. We got to match their intensity. So, man, it's going to be like this all series.
What are you starting to learn about Luka in a playoff context as a teammate as you guys grow in that way?
Nothing. I've watched it for 7 years, so nothing at all. Luka is Luka.
Last one for you. Key as you head now fly to Minnesota for game 3 and 4.
Hostile environment, but we got to come in with the same mindset as we had tonight. Understanding it's a playoff game, no possessions we can take off. We got to play with intensity, energy, and effort. You're not dog-ass tired after this game. After any of these games, then you didn't give it all you had, so that's what it's about.
Well, we did the same game plan. We didn't really change much. It was just the question of if we're going to be more physical or not, and I think we showed that. And we were there for 48 minutes. And we got big enough first quarter. I learned from the last game, and we just stick to it.
So with the win, the series is guaranteed to have a 5th game. So here's a look at the schedule for Lakers T-Wolves. Game 3 is Friday in Minnesota, as is Game 4, which is on Sunday. Then they return back to LA, Crypto.com Arena on Wednesday for a Game 5. If there is a 6 and 7, that schedule will be provided. Let's talk about Game 2, the defense. Holding them to 85, we've talked a lot about it. It was a season low for them, not to mention they had scored at least 100 or more in 56 straight games going into Game 2. Impressed is the word, maybe?
Very much so. I think the Lakers, the players, the coaches, the staffers, everyone down to the video guys, they got tired of hearing the aftermath of Game 1, Beto. No physicality for the Lakers. They got out, they got punched in the mouth and didn't respond. It was national headlines. It was a local talk. And I think they said, you know what? Actually, we can be pretty physical. And they showed it. I mean, I don't know what I like better. Vando kind of getting back to being that little enforcer for the team, or AR kind of going at Naz Reid with that verbal exchange in the second quarter. I mean, the Lakers are basically saying, hey, we read all the headlines. We heard everything on these Sportscenter shows and whatnot. We're not going to get punked. And they were the aggressors from the start. in that game, too.
And the tone was set early on because Anthony Edwards had 0 assists. And Anthony Edwards, when they gave him the zone defense, he even said himself he looked a little bit confused because of what the Lakers were giving him. But back to your point, Brett, how physical they were. You saw people in the paint attacking. You saw them putting a body on somebody going for the offensive rebound. But also when Anthony Edwards would try to make a move, they had the help side defense that was coming in off the block to help them out, where Edwards wasn't able to just get by the first defender. Lakers actually had the help defense, they had the attitude, and they weren't going to get punked, like you said, Brett. They fought back, which is what you should be doing.
Yeah, but it's playoffs. And JJ said it for the first game. Our guys acted like it was a regular season game. That was not the case in game 2.
Punked, which is exactly what Austin Reeves said happened to them, the Lakers, in game 1. How confident are you in the squad going into Minnesota now all tied up?
Well, they haven't been great there the last several years. You know, 1-7 in their last 8 in the good city of Minneapolis, Mike Trudell's hometown. I like what I saw, though. You know, I saw just enough that, okay, you know, the Lakers are going to make this, you know, a grind type of game, a grind type of series even perhaps. The Lakers don't want to score 94 in games 3 and 4. That's probably not the recipe for a win. Most nights in today's NBA, in particular, Ali and Beto, I mean, you got to get to the hundreds, 110s to really make sure you can, sometimes 120s to really make sure you win these games. But I liked their energy. I liked how they responded. And that guy right there, Rui Hachimura, he got hit in the face. He disappeared for a little bit, came back, and I thought he was more aggressive in that second half.
What I'm concerned about going to Minnesota is the adjustments that the Minnesota coaching staff is going to make. Because Chris Finch and his squad do a great job knowing what they're going to have at home. Anthony Edwards is going to get the assist. You're going to have Naz Reid and McDaniels. They're going to knock down shots in game 3. They're going to be there for you. So if you're the Lakers, you want to get in there and you want to set a tone, but it's going to be very, very tough there. I wouldn't be surprised if they just come back split and we come back here 2-2.
Which is what they're supposed to do. At least you got to win one on the road. Rui Hachimura might not have dominated in the box score, but in terms of impact, he was huge. 11 points, 5 boards, a couple of steals, and a block for Rui, who, Brez, as you just mentioned, also left the game early after getting hit in the face and had to wear a mask for the remainder of it. Here's JJ Redick giving an update on Rui before the team took the flight to the Twin Cities.
He got just popped in the face, and I believe, you know, he's going to wear a mask as a precaution for a little bit, but he's fine and will be available.
Yeah, JJ, obviously game 2 was all about just getting a win by any means necessary. But when you look at it and want to fine-tune things moving to game 3 in Minnesota, particularly in the offensive end, are there things that you point to that you know you're going to need to clean up to continue your success on the road?
Yeah, I think the tape kind of showed that the defense was as good as we thought it was live. Certainly can clean some things up. You know, obviously as you go through a series, you have to start questioning what adjustments you make on certain players. But the tape showed that we weren't. You know, although we generated some good shots at times, we weren't very good offensively. And I thought we were more organized. But I think the biggest thing for us is, you know, we have to find ways to create a little bit more thrust and pace. That's probably the biggest thing. And you know, we'll continue to fine-tune that.
Brez just kind of touched on this, so Beto, I'll start with you. Rui doing just a little bit of everything despite the discomfort of obviously having to throw on that mask mid-game. Do you think he can maintain that sort of effort impact throughout this series?
He needs to.
Yeah.
It's not can he. It's very vital for Rui Hachimura to do that because Rui is not going to be the guy that you want to get 18 to 20 points. It's get some points, be in the paint, be disruptive, do that right there. Find the cut, find the extra pass, whatever it is you need to do to be effective for the Lakers. For Rui Hachimura, he's not going to be the most physical guy. He's not going to be the one in your face trying to fight you or anything like that, but be disruptive, be a guy who's a presence. He's 6'8", has good body size, get into the face of somebody on the Wolves, get that block from behind, do something to just make Minnesota uncomfortable.
I blame that first mask, the clear one he put on.
Okay.
You're right. I mean, Rui's a big man. He needs like a large or an XL. Yeah. That was like a medium they gave him. I mean, it was kind of smashing his nose a little bit. He looked really uncomfortable with it. He ditched it for a while. Then he came back with a black mask, and the game was on after that. I mean,
that's a great analysis right there.
I also don't like. I don't care who you are, to have to throw on a mask mid-game in a playoff situation.
Right.
I don't care if you've worn it in the past or not. There is a level of adjusting, and especially when it has to come from a physical standpoint.
Because
I don't care if it's clear or black.
Like his face was all smashed in.
I know.
The first mask that he had on.
He couldn't breathe in it. It really was too small.
Yeah, then you add that. Barely breathing.
I mean,
after you got popped in the nose.
And Jordan Goodwin probably gets first dibs. He always wears the mask. So Rui, gets the backup one. Eventually, they found one that was more to his liking. And he is used to this. Allie, you and I have talked about this early last season. Remember, he had the concussion, and then he had a nasal fracture. So he missed some time, had a little mask action. And I really like the way he responded. He's a key player on this team, Beto. I still go back to when they played Denver a couple years ago. And the Lakers didn't win it, but he had some moments against Jokic defensively where even the Laker coaching staff was like, oh, we can maybe play Rui on Jokic, the best player in the game, and get away with it sometimes. He needs to be that guy on offense and defense the rest of the series.
Speaking of someone you'd like to see respond here in Game 3, Jackson Hayes. 9 minutes, 5 fouls. We talked about it on the podcast, the Lake Show podcast, a guy who really wanted to have an impact and be a part of this series. Also talked about maybe being targeted a little bit from an official standpoint in terms of fouls. How important is Jackson for this series as it goes on?
He can be somebody who can become annoying. He could be the guy that's pushing Rudy from the back. He could be doing that, but he gets caught up doing stupid things that he gets caught into the... Right there. Get him up there, boom, he's going to fall for it. He's going to fall for everything that you have because that's just not being locked in, Brez. It's not because of his ability. It's just he gets caught up in the moment, and that's a lack of playoff experience that's going to hurt him because he should not have 5 fouls that quick.
The moving screens.
Okay, the 94 feet right there was not good, but the 1-2 possessions before just being physical, that's a little searching and reaching.
I understand him being frustrated. I mean, he's averaging 9 minutes a game in the series. That's not what he wants. And that's not what the Lakers want. And the problem is Gobert is actually averaging decent minutes in the series. If Rudy Gobert is being forced off the court because the Lakers are running circles around those guys, okay, you can live with Jackson Hayes not playing a lot. That's not the case. So Jackson, maybe more than any other Laker, needs to have a good Game 3 and 4 based on what he did in those first 2 games.
We shall see Game 3. It is on Friday in Minnesota. Game time is at 6:30. It's all right here on Spectrum Sportsnet. We will get you started with pregame at 5:30. Still to come, JJ Redick voiced his frustration and the whole arena heard it. Ahead, JJ and Bron on a fiery moment from the head coach. Plus, Anthony Edwards. He's still got his, but the Lakers made it difficult for him. Up next, Ant-Man on the deep. Welcome back. Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle are 2 of the top guys on the Lakers scouting report, and deservedly so. Ant had 25 points, 6 boards in the loss. Julius had 27 points with 6 assists. But as we mentioned earlier in the show, just 85 points scored by the Wolves, which was a season low. Randle spoke about the lack of offense in the game.
Just think we were stagnant. We missed some good looks, some open layups. And then, Luka got off to another hot start. He got some early free throws. I think he had like 8 free throws early, so he got off to, a hot start. And, they were just kind of in a rhythm in that first quarter. They scored 94 points for the game, but they had 34 in the first quarter. So that means, after that, we held them to 20 a quarter, which is who we are, as a team. So we just got to get out to a better start.
And what did you think of Julius tonight?